It was a mega hit on the big screen more than 2 decades ago, and there was never a single doubt that Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous would always be relevant. And this time, 22 years later, Almost Famous is making waves on the Great White Way. Well, if anyone knows how to rock out an ending, it is the ridiculously talented Casey Likes. This guy right here plays the Cameron Crowe-inspired character William Miller in the musical, so you know he can sing, he can dance, he can act, but that is not all. The pride of Arizona will be taking over Tinseltown as a filmmaker as well. You will get to see him in upcoming movies like Spinning Gold and Dark Harvest, and also right here on Pix 11 right now. So let's give it up for my new bestie, Mr. Casey Likes.
Wow, what a hype up. That was great.
That's what I do for the famous people.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely me.
Yeah, definitely you. What? And you know, I'm in awe of you already. You already know this. Did you sense it?
So kind, so kind.
I'm not being kind. I'm being truthful. I'm loud and super honest because you're just 20 years old.
Yeah,
That's
20.
60 younger than me.
No, yeah, right.
I'm
yeah,
not joking.
Right.
I'm not joking.
On.
You're no stranger to performing. You already like did commercials since you were 3. You've been on stages before.
Yeah.
Hence the Jimmys, killing it at the Jimmys.
Oh, thank you.
So this is your first taste of Broadway. Has it all sunk in yet?
You know, it sinks in very random moments. I was just walking up the stairs the other day, and I was thinking about my younger self because my first theater job was way back in Arizona when I was 3 years old, and how much I thought I wanted to do this for the rest of my life, and how I can't believe I'm still doing it.
Oh,
17 years later.
It. First of all, I went like this when you're thinking back to your younger self. You're 20.
Yeah, well, right, yeah, my much younger self, the 17-year-old, 17 I mean,
years ago, the 3-year-old.
17 years ago, yeah right.
Yeah. Okay, so we know you've of course seen the movie because you see the movie when you're doing a role like this, and your character it's a high school situation, out of high school. You're out of high school, and we're sure there are tons of auditions, callbacks, traveling involved before getting to this role. So when and at what point did you meet the Cameron Crowe?
The Cameron Crowe.
And how was that for you?
Wow, it was so surreal. I was in LA a week after the Jimmy Awards, and basically I go into Jim Carnahan, our casting director, the first day, and he says, "All right, man, that was good. You're gonna meet Cameron tomorrow, and that's gonna be at this time." And I'm like, Cameron Crowe? Cameron, he just says Cameron very casually. And then the next day I meet Cameron Crowe, and I do all my material for him, and after I sing this song called No Friends, we basically are like, man, isn't that a good song? It's a great song. And then we're singing parts of it back and forth to each other. We're like, oh, that's in this part, in this part, in this part. And then we walk out, and then Jim Carnahan, the casting director, slams the door on my face because we're still talking, and he's got other appointments to get to. But Cameron and I really hit it off out of the park very quickly.
Clearly, and look where we are now. And you know, and when I say you're a big deal, I'm not even joking. I know you're modest. I am not. I'm honest. So when I say you're a big deal, like, people sense it. Greatness, like, sees you. It attracts you. That's why you have big deals. Iconic people like Miss Joni Mitchell checking out your show, meeting you. Like, what?
There she was.
What the?
Yeah, amazing. We had Joni come. We had Graham Nash come the other day. We had David Crosby back in San Diego come. Paul Rudd was there opening night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just
words I will never speak in my entire life.
Oh, come on.
Words,
come
I'm
on.
telling you, no, listen, unless you need a yeller on your stage, then I qualify for that. But you can't seem to stay away from the music theme because you're literally spinning gold as another legendary musician. Tell us who you're playing.
I am playing Gene Simmons of Kiss. Yeah, I know, pretty lucky. That's him. That's the guy right there. Yeah, I'm playing him at a very young age in a movie that's coming out in March of next year. And And yeah, it's been a very surreal experience.
So listen, Casey, do not correct me when I say you're a big deal. When I say you're a legend in the making, do not correct me, because I know what I'm talking about.
When they put me on the stilettos that Gene Simmons wear, maybe I'm a big deal because I'm 7 feet tall.
Oh, please, no. So after that, we're gonna also see you. I mentioned Dark Harvest because you're playing lead on that too. Because you, like, first of all, where do you have the time? Like, do you have more time than we do? Because you're on Broadway, you're doing movies, like. What are we doing wrong?
One thing at a time. You know, I had a lot of time over the pandemic, and it really allowed me to kind of flex my film and TV muscles, which is always a great privilege to get to flex other different places.
All right, so I'm sure I'm going to be seeing more of you.
Please.
In front and behind the camera, on stage, wherever it is, I'm rooting for you, as you already know. So proud of you, and I know you're going to take over Hollywood like before we even know it.
Thank
you already
you,
took it over. What am I talking about?
Oh, thank you.
Well, you can see my bestie Casey and the incredible cast rocking out in the musical Almost Famous at the Jacobs Theater.